That is good.
It felt really good to say.
And notice what you did there. You didn't say no. You said, I can do it, but...
Yeah.
And you forced me, the boss, to acknowledge the actual cost of the ask.
Right.
Okay, picture this. It is Saturday morning. You have had, just one of those weeks that felt like a month.
Oh, I know this week.
You are finally horizontal on the couch, you've got a coffee, you're about to start that show you've been saving, and then your phone buzzes.
Oh, I already have a physical reaction to this. My stomach just dropped.
You pick it up, it's a text from a friend, and it starts with what I think are the 6 most dangerous words in the English language. Hey, I don't want to bother you, but.
The but. It's always the but.
It's always the but. And this one finishes with, could you help me move a sectional sofa up 3 flights of stairs this afternoon?
See, that is the worst. Because you want to say no. Every single fiber of your being is screaming, no, I am tired. But that opening phrase, I don't want to bother you, it just, it traps you. It puts you in such a bind.
It really does. And looking at the stuff we've pulled for today, that trapped feeling, it's not an accident. Think about it for a second. If they really didn't want to bother you,
They wouldn't have sent the text.
they wouldn't have bothered you.
Right.
But they did. And because they framed it that way, if you say no, you're the one who's basically accusing them of being a bother. You're confirming their supposed fear.
So they get to be the considerate one who hates to ask. And I automatically get cast as the bad guy if I refuse.
That is the dynamic we are tearing apart today. We're doing a deep dive into what linguists and psychologists call polite manipulation.
Ooh, polite manipulation.
It's a specific communication pattern, and it's super common in American culture. It's where the speaker sort of performs this apology for asking, while at the same time making it almost impossible to refuse.
It's funny you call it manipulation, because on the surface, it just looks like somebody's being nice. It looks like good manners.
And that's exactly the point. That's why it works so well. It's a guilt trip disguised as etiquette.
Yeah.
So today we're going to do 3 things. First, we're going to unpack the psychological mechanism of why this is so effective. Then we're going to translate some of these common phrases like no pressure into what they actually mean. And finally, we'll look at some defense strategies so you can get that text and still save your Saturday.
I need this. I really do. Because I am a chronic victim of the I hate to ask text.
Well, let's get into the machinery of it. The core concept here is something called guilt transfer.
Guilt transfer. Okay, that sounds heavy.
It is. Think about asking for a big favor, right? Like moving boxes or a 4:00 a.m. airport run. There's a natural social cost to that. The person asking, they usually feel some anxiety or guilt for imposing.
Sure, of course. Asking for help is vulnerable. You feel like you owe them something.
Precisely. But when they use a phrase like, I don't want to be a burden, or I really hate to ask, they are verbally just dumping that anxiety.
Yeah.
They're taking the emotional weight of the awkwardness and shifting it onto your shoulders.
Wait, hold on. So by saying they don't want to be a burden, they are actually effectively becoming one.
In a psychological sense, yeah. It completely disarms your natural defenses. Usually, if someone asks you to move, your brain does a quick analysis. I'm busy, my back hurts, I just want to sleep.
Right. Those are just facts. They're neutral reasons.
But these polite phrases, they steal those facts before you can even use them. If they start with, I know you're probably swamped, but they've already acknowledged your busyness.
Oh, I see. So now I can't use I'm busy as an excuse because they just said they know I'm busy and they're asking me anyway.
Exactly. They've checkmated your excuse. It creates what the research calls a false binary.
Okay, break that down for me.
It sets up a world where there are only 2 roles. Option A, you say yes, and you prove you're a good, selfless friend. Or, option B, you say no, and you confirm that you're a selfish person who doesn't care that they're in a bind.
That is exactly what it feels like. It feels like being cornered by niceness. There's no middle ground. You can't just be a person who happens to have other plans.
And because most of us are wired to be, pro-social, we want to be seen as helpful. We just take the path of least resistance. We say yes, and then we quietly simmer in resentment for the next 4 hours.
Which totally defeats the whole purpose of helping. I'm moving your couch, but I'm hating you while I do it.
So let's dig into the specific language. We pulled a list of these high-leverage, polite phrases. I want to play a little game. I'll give you the phrase, you tell me what your gut feeling is when you hear it, then I'll give you the decoding definition from the psychologist.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's decode the manipulation.
Phrase number 1, the absolute classic, I hate to ask, but
Okay, my feeling is it feels like they're in pain. Like they've been agonizing over this, pacing around their apartment, and they finally broke down and texted me. So if I say no, I'm just kicking them while they're down.
That is the intended effect, 100%. Here's the translation. I don't actually hate asking. I'm just soothing my own anxiety by performing reluctance, which in turn pressures you to reassure me by saying yes.
Oof. So it's about their feelings, not my time.
It's all about their feelings. Okay, next one. If it's not too much trouble.
I use this one. I have to admit it. It feels like I'm trying to shrink the request, make it seem small. Like, hey, this is just a tiny thing, barely an inconvenience.
It minimizes the ask. But here's the translation. I know this IS trouble, but by framing it as not too much trouble, I'm setting a baseline where if you refuse, you look incredibly petty.
Wow. That's a little bit of gaslighting, isn't it? You're defining the reality of the task before I can even weigh in.
You're defining the scale of the task. If I say, if it's not too much trouble, can you watch my dog for a week? And you say no. The unspoken message is that you think watching a dog is a huge deal, which makes you look like a bad person.
And nobody wants to be the bad person. Okay, give me another one.
How about you're probably busy, but
That one feels kind of respectful, actually. Like, I see you. I acknowledge that you have a life.
it masquerades as respect. But the decoder says, I know you're busy. I'm asking you anyway. And now you can't use I'm busy as an excuse because I already put it on the table.
It's a preemptive strike. They're just taking away my I'm busy card before I can even play it.
Bingo. Now this last one is the most insidious, according to a lot of what we read. No pressure. Or, it's totally fine if you can't.
Okay, I have to push back here. No pressure sounds nice. I say no pressure because I genuinely mean it. I want them to feel like there's, well, no pressure.
And that might be your conscious intent, I get that. But in the context of a request that actually requires effort, the decoder says, this is extreme pressure.
How? How is saying no pressure actually pressure?
Well, think about it. By saying no pressure, they forbid you from even acknowledging the pressure that obviously exists. The request is the pressure, so it demands that you perform this kind of casualness.
If I say no, I'm the one making it weird.
Yes. If I ask you for a huge favor and say, it's totally fine if you can't, and then you say, no, I can't, there's this weird, awkward silence. The phrase implies our relationship is strong enough to handle it, but the subtext is often, prove to me that you care enough about our relationship to make it fine.
It's a test. It's really just a test.
It can be. And it gets even stickier when we move out of friendships and into high-stakes environments, like the office.
Oh, the workplace versions must be brutal. You can't just ignore a text from your boss.
It is the boss trap. And the research specifically calls out this phrase, I know you're swamped, but...
Ugh, I have heard that so many times. I know you're swamped, but I need this deck by 5.0.
Exactly. The boss acknowledges you're overwhelmed, asks anyway, and because of the power dynamic, they know you can't really say no. By saying, I know you're swamped, they're just pretending you have a choice. It's fake empathy.
It's performative, like, I see your pain, and I'm just going to add to it.
And then there's the weaponized compliment. I really appreciate you being such a team player on this.
That one is visceral. That one hurts. Because if I say no, then by definition, I am not a team player. You're attacking my whole professional identity.
Exactly right. It ties your compliance directly to your reputation.
So what are you supposed to do? I mean, you can't just turn to your boss and say, stop manipulating me with these linguistic tricks.
No, that is a quick way to get fired. But let's look at a scenario. Let's role play it. I'm the boss. It's 4:55 p.m. on a Friday. You're packing up your bag.
Okay. My bag is on my shoulder. I am 1 foot out the door.
Hey, I know you're absolutely swamped and probably just heading out, but could you get this report finished before you leave? It shouldn't take too long.
Okay, so my gut instinct, the wrong way, is just to crumble. I'd probably say, oh, sure, yeah, I guess I can stay, no problem.
And the result of that?
I go home angry. I complain to my partner about it all night. I dread coming in on Monday. Total resentment.
Right. Now let's try the right way based on the tactics we found. Let's call this one the trade-off.
Okay. Hit me with the ask again.
I know you're swamped, but I really need this report done tonight.
Okay. I can definitely get that done, but just so you know, I'll need to push back the project presentation I was prepping for Monday morning. Which one should I prioritize?
Ooh, that is good.
It felt really good to say.
And notice what you did there. You didn't say no. You said, I can do it, but...
Yeah.
And you forced me, the boss, to acknowledge the actual cost of the ask.
Right. I put the ball back in your court. You now have to choose what gets sacrificed.
Exactly. It strips away all the polite manipulation, and it just makes it a transaction about resources and time. It's professional, not personal.
That's great for work, but what about family? You can't really negotiate resource allocation with your mom.
No, family is the Wild West of guilt trips. The research points to two main strategies here. The first one is the martyr.
Let me guess. Oh, don't worry about me. I guess I'll just do it myself.
You got it in one. I don't want to bother you. I guess I'll just carry this heavy furniture by myself. But my bad hip holds out.
And then you get the heavy sigh. The sigh does so much work in that sentence.
Oh, the sigh is a whole paragraph. And the second strategy is the historian. After all I've done for you.
Ugh. That's leveraging the entire history of the relationship. It's not about the favor anymore. It's about this lifelong debt you apparently owe them.
It turns every single request into a referendum on your love and gratitude.
Okay, listening to all of this is making me feel a little paranoid. Is everyone who says no pressure a secret monster? Because I feel like I say these things. Am I the villain here?
That's a really important question. There's a litmus test for telling the difference between genuine and manipulative. Because you're right, sometimes we say no pressure, and we truly mean it.
So how do you tell the difference?
Well, there are some clear signs. A genuine request usually offers a real easy out. Like, totally understand if you can't, I already have a backup plan.
And they have to actually mean it.
Yes. And the biggest tell is what happens after you say no. It's the reaction test. If it's genuine, they accept your no gracefully. Okay, no worries, and the conversation moves on.
And if it's manipulative?
They bargain, they push back, they make you justify why you're refusing. Oh, why can't you? What else are you doing that's so important? Or, and this is the nuclear option, they recruit others.
Oh, like, I told Mom you said no to helping me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Triangulation. If they're building an army to pressure you, it was never a polite request to begin with. It was a demand in disguise.
Okay, so we know what it is. We know how to spot it. How do we defend ourselves? Because when that Saturday text comes in, I still feel that panic.
The material lays out three main strategies. And I love these because they range from, gentle boundary setting to, honestly, a little bit of beautiful pettiness.
I am here for the petty. Let's hear them.
Strategy number one. Take them literally. Some people call this agree and amplify.
Okay, what does that look like in practice?
If they text you, I don't want to bother you, you just agree with them.
Oh my gosh, that is so bold.
Let's try it. I'm your friend. Hey, I don't want to bother you, but can you help me move?
Wow, thanks for being so considerate. Since you don't want to bother me, I'll take you up on that and pass this time. Good luck with the move.
See?
That is deeply satisfying. Thanks for being so considerate. I'm complimenting them for the lie they just told me.
Exactly. You are using their own politeness as a shield. They said they didn't want to bother you. You're just validating that desire. You're letting them be the good person they claim to be while you still say no.
That's verbal judo. I love that.
Okay, strategy number two, match their energy. This is for the if it's not too much trouble crowd.
Okay.
So I'd say if it's not too much trouble, could you drive me to the airport at 4 a.m.?
I would respond, unfortunately, looking at my schedule, that would be too much trouble for me right now.
Perfect. You're just mirroring the structure. They open the door to the concept of trouble, and you're just calmly walking through it.
It's honest. It's not even rude. It's just factual. Yes, that is, in fact, trouble.
Okay, strategy number three is probably the most useful for people who want to help but just can't do the specific thing asked. It's called the alternative, or what I like to call the lift code.
Don't be a savior, be a problem solver.
Right. I can't drive you, but I can send you a lift code. Or I can help you move, but I know a really great moving company.
And why does that work so well, psychologically?
Because it separates the task from the relationship. You're proving you still care about the person and their problem, but you're rejecting the specific burdensome task.
That is such a crucial distinction. I'm not rejecting you, I'm just rejecting the 4 a.m. drive.
But now we have to turn the mirror on ourselves.
I was afraid of this part.
You admitted earlier that you use some of these phrases.
I do. I definitely say I hate to ask. And I think it's because I was taught that being too direct is rude. If I just said, help me move, it sounds so demanding.
And that's the cultural conditioning talking. But the argument here is that directness, when it's paired with the genuine out, is actually more polite.
Because it respects the other person's autonomy?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
what's the fix? How do we ask for help without being manipulative? The formula is basically context plus a direct ask plus a genuine out.
Okay, give me an example. Fix the awful moving text from the beginning.
Instead of, I hate to ask, but you could try this. Hey, I'm moving this weekend. Are you available to help out on Saturday afternoon? Absolutely no worries if not. I'm also looking into hiring movers.
Okay, just hearing that, I feel so much lighter.
Right.
Yeah, you gave me the context, you asked directly, but the best part was I'm looking into movers as well.
It signals that I have a plan B. Your help would be amazing, but it's not a requirement for my survival.
Which makes me feel safe to say no. And ironically, that actually makes me more likely to want to say yes because I don't feel like I'm being cornered.
Exactly. That is the great paradox. When people feel genuinely free to say no, their yes means so much more.
It builds trust. I know you're not trying to trap me.
So as we wrap this up, let's just synthesize what we've learned. We use these phrases, I don't want to bother you, no pressure, to protect our own egos. We want to ask for something without feeling vulnerable. But in doing that, we actually weaponize politeness.
We make the other person do the emotional labor of rejecting us so we don't have to do the emotional labor of just asking clearly.
That is the whole takeaway right there.
That's huge. And I think my big auction item from this is that next time I get that Saturday text, next time someone says, I don't want to bother you, I'm going to remember that I am not the bad guy for taking them at their word.
Absolutely. And I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. True consideration isn't about apologizing for the act of asking. It's about making it safe for the other person to say no. If you can do that, you'll never have to use a guilt trip again.
I love that. I'm going to go practice my thanks for being so considerate response in the mirror right now.
Do it. Thanks for diving in with us, everyone. Go enjoy your Saturday guilt-free.